Today I'm going to show you how to bake a cake from scratch using a KitchenAid mixer, and we're going to follow a recipe from this cookbook, a super fun cookbook by Snoop Dogg called From Crook to Cook. I love baking cakes for friends and family and birthdays and all kinds of things, and I'm a big fan of cake mixes from a box because it's so convenient and I think it still tastes delicious. But why not try a cake from scratch from the recipe book of Snoop Dogg? Quick tip, before you start baking a cake, always make sure you have everything you need before you get started. It's so frustrating to stop in the middle if you need to make a quick grocery run. The ingredients are actually pretty basic ingredients to make a cake from scratch. Flour, sugar, cocoa powder, vanilla, salt, baking soda, baking powder, eggs. One thing I didn't have in my usual stock of things was buttermilk. I don't usually have that on hand, so we did have to make a special trip for buttermilk. Oil, water, pretty basic stuff in the recipe. I'm excited to give it a try. Here we go. Okay, first we want to preheat the oven to 350. I've already got that going. We're going to start by adding the dry ingredients to the bowl, and I'm starting with flour. Make sure to use that flat edge of your butter knife to scrape off the excess flour. You want to get a nice exact measurement each time you measure something while baking. 2 cups of sugar. Cocoa powder is next. I got this good Ghirardelli chocolate. 3/4 of a cup. Now we're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. There's 1. There's a half a teaspoon of salt. At this point, it says to just mix them together with a whisk. I think we're just trying to combine the dry ingredients here. Looks pretty good to me. Now we're going to add the buttermilk, oil, eggs, and all that stuff. And then we get to put the mixer to work. We're doing a whole cup of buttermilk, 1/2 cup of oil, and 3 large eggs. Two teaspoons of vanilla. Don't mind doing a little extra. Vanilla's so good. We're gonna use a paddle attachment on the KitchenAid, and I have this scraper one that I love using, so that's the attachment I'm gonna use today. I'm gonna start it on really low, just to get the ingredients mixed together. And we'll kick it up to a medium. It only says to mix it on medium until it's combined, and it's combined. So usually a box cake mix, you want 2 minutes, but I think this one is good here. This smells so good. I wish you could jump through the screen and smell it. Just chocolatey and sweet and delicious. The last ingredient to add is boiling water. I'm not sure why, but Snoop says to do it, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna boil some water, then we're gonna turn this on low and slowly add in the boiling water. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. They are so great for coffee, tea, top ramen, anything you need boiling water for. I love this thing, I use it all the time. For this recipe, you could use some 9-inch round baking pans, or you could throw the cake in a bundt pan. I love making bundt cakes. I think they're so cute, and they're actually really easy to frost. I have a couple shorts on those where you can either pipe the frosting over it or melt it and drizzle it. But if you are not confident in your cake frosting skills, a bundt cake is actually the way to go. Today, just for funsies, I'm gonna use these Paris Hilton heart-shaped pans that I recently got. I just think they're so cute. So if you do heart-shaped like this or round, you wanna make sure you divide the cake batter into 2 pans. Let's grease these and finish this cake up. My favorite way to grease a pan is just by spraying some of this Pam baking spray. Especially from a bundt pan, if you've ever tried to remove the cake and it just falls apart, it's terrible. But this baking spray works like a charm. So we've got those ready. We've got our boiling water. We're gonna put this on low and add our boiling water. Thank you, KitchenAid. You make everything easier. Yeah, that's very liquidy. I'm curious to see how this works. Look how cutesy. Okay, we're gonna put the pans in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, and we've had the oven preheated to 350. Do good. Once you put the cake in the oven, this next step is critical. Make sure to set a timer. It's the most forgotten step in baking and super important if you want your stuff to turn out just right. I'm gonna set a timer on my watch. That way, no matter where I am, I will hear it. This cake turned out so good and chocolatey and luxurious. I made it for my friend's 50th birthday party and I love it. Hey, if you want to learn how to make frosting, check out my other video. And hey, if we haven't met yet, my name's Sarah and I'm the mom next door. I'm all about finding ways to live life better and sharing what I learn with all of you. Hit subscribe to join the virtual village because it really does take a village.